All right, so here we go, guys. Example 2. So for example 2, they want us to use the equation for inverse variation, which is this thing right here. Y is equal to k over x. All right, we'll do 2 of these. We'll do part A, and then we'll do part B. In part A, they say write an equation for the inverse function when x is 10 and y is equal to 3. So in this equation, y equals k over x, we are going to replace our x value with the number 10 and our y value with the number 3. Now what that leaves us to solve for, as you guys can see, is this k value, which is the constant value. And to solve for k, we need to get rid of this 10. Now since they're dividing by 10, we're going to go ahead and do the opposite and multiply both sides by 10. Why both sides? Because whatever you do to one side in the equation, you also have to do to the other, right? These 10s end up canceling out. You get k equals 10 times 3, which in this case is 30. All right, so we did the first part of this problem. Now for the second part, they say then find the value of y when x is equal to negative 6. So in the same equation, we're going to use y equals k over x. Now this time we know what our k value is because we found it in the first part. Our k value in that case was the number 30. So let's replace this k value with the number 30. Okay? And we're going to solve for y when x is equal to negative 6. So that means we got to take this x value down here and replace it with a negative 6. So now you have 30 over negative 6, which is negative 5. All right? So again, in the first part of this problem, we used the x and y value they gave us to solve for k. Now in the second part, we use that k value that we solved for to solve for y when x is equal to negative 6. All right, let's try one more. Part B will be the same thing. The only difference is they're probably going to end up giving us different x and y values to try out. All right, so in this case, we have x being 6, and this is for part B. X is 6, and they want our y value to be a fraction, which is 1/2, which I know you guys love. Okay? And the second part, again, it says solve for y, but this time x is equal to a positive 15. All right, so let's try this out again. So let's deal with the first part. We're going to write an equation when x is 6 and y is 1/2. So here we go. So your equation is y equals k over x. That's the equation for inverse. And they said to replace x with a 6. And to replace y with a 1/2. All right? Again, that leaves us to solve for this k value. Now to solve for it, we got to get rid of this 6. And since they're dividing by 6, we're going to do the opposite and multiply both sides by 6. These 6's will cancel. Now I know this is a fraction, which some people don't like, but you got the best one you can ask for. In this case, you have 1/2 times 6, okay? When you're multiplying by 1/2, that is literally asking you what half of that number is. So in this case, half of 6 will give us a k value of 3. All right? So we did the first part. We found what the k value was. Now we're going to use this k value to answer the second part of the equation. So let's write down our formula again. Y is equal to k over x. In this case, we know what our k value is from the first part. It is the number 3. Now let's answer the second part. Find the value of y when x is 15. So we're going to take this x down here and replace it with the number 15. Now you have to do is solve for it by dividing, except 15 doesn't go into 3. What you can do instead, because they don't want decimals, is see if you can simplify or reduce this fraction. Is there a number that goes into 3 and 15? In this case, you can divide them both by the number 3. So you have 3 divided by 3, which is 1. You have 15 divided by 3, which is 5. So in this case, we end up with a y value of 1/5. All right? And that's all there is to it for this example, guys. We'll see you in the next one.